Hello everyone, this is the Super Wig Maker. This is another video for another order. This time it's a full lace wig, and we've been through a couple of things before I managed to get the hair in my hands. She had sent a package 3 times before it just came to my hands eventually. Oh well. And finally we were able to do that, and guess what? This is something that I'm gonna have to say. I was gonna make it a standalone video, but I don't think it's necessary. This is the head mold that she sent. I have already spoke about this with her, so I'm just gonna say it for everyone to understand. Like, if you are going to make a full lace wig and you're gonna pay a lot of money, come on guys, you need to make a good head mold. This is not rocket science, it's pretty simple. I have made a video about that. I made it on myself in like 3 minutes and it literally looked perfect. Take your time and make your mold. Let me just show you a couple of photos. Yeah, this is how it came. It came in like almost 2 pieces. The inside had a lot of stuffing. I'm gonna show you first the photos, and then I'm gonna show you on video. This is what I removed over here. Like, that was the stuffing that I removed from the inside, and I'm gonna explain to you why this is a problem. Yeah, the same one. Yeah, this. Now back to the video. This is where everything was attached. There was a huge ball. I don't have it because I just threw it away, but it was like a huge ball of stuff. And guess what? This made, look at that part. It is a bump. And guess what? Your head doesn't have this shape. But why does the mold have this shape? Because in here we had like this amount of stuffing. Like, all this was stuffing, and it created this cut over here. Here's what, guys. You don't want to have a stuffing. I'm going to explain to that, and this isn't acceptable. Like, how am I supposed to use that? This mold is utterly useless in my opinion. I cannot use it. And this is not really silicone. Oh yeah, that's silicone wrap. Anyway, it's pretty simple. Let me just show you another thing why this is a problem. This is another mold of another order that I have already finished. And guess what? Someone's gonna say, oh, that's very good, it's very starry, but first of all, this utterly lacks the markings. Where are the markings? What's that? I made a whole wig with that. It has absolutely no markings here. I tried to make them with trying to find where they are, and eventually the markings were wrong because she didn't make them correctly, and she thought that this was my fault. Come on, if you're making the mold, you're supposed to mark everything. This has nothing to do with this order. This is a totally different order. And guess what? Look at that. Look at how thick that is. Let me just find that area. Look at that. It's that thick. Do you realize that your head is inside here and the wig is going to be out here? This amount of difference just in the back, this amount of difference in the side, and this amount of difference here, and this amount of, okay, the top is not okay, is just fine. Look at that. It's like a cushion over here. Only the top is just fine. Look at how much material it has here. You realize that the wig is going to be made on top of this mold and your head is inside. If the mold with the on inside and the outside had like this amount of difference, you're actually increasing the size of the wig, and it didn't fit her. She said that, oh, you didn't make it correctly because it was too big, and now I have to take it to someone to make it smaller. Well, I used your mold. What am I supposed to do? You made this. And I told her that the markings were not correct, and she said, oh, I trust you. How can you trust me? I did my best and it didn't work for you. Don't send me those things. It's pretty simple. The thickness needs to be that thick. This is the only acceptable thickness that I'm gonna accept. Don't have any stuffings in here, and please just make it all one piece. It's pretty simple and very easy to make. So back to this order. She went a couple of things that she had sent. One package was lost, like this package came here and then went back, and then she sent it in another way. Totally bad story. So I have 3 bundles that are 18 inches. This is darker, as you can see. It's a little obvious in this, the lower part. The upper part, the colors are identical, but this is darker. This is a little lighter, and this is even lighter. You can see the huge difference of the colors. And then I have one piece that is 24 inches. This is 18, yeah, it's 6 inches longer, and I'm going to use this on top. This is the lightest of all, as you can see. And also the root is lighter. And I'm going to use this on top. So yeah, I'm gonna make the wig cap. I'm gonna prepare the hair. I'm gonna show you in fast forward like the wig cap construction probably and the prepping of the hair. And I wish I could just make a time lapse of how I ventilate the hair, but this is impossible because I use a magnifying lamp now and I have no room for the camera. And then I'm gonna probably just show you the outcome, the finished result and everything. It's been about 2 days later and I still can't figure out how to do that. It doesn't fit any of my mannequin heads, the styrofoams. And it's not so much, and this is like too small for that, obviously, you can see that. It's not so much the size, like for example, let me just get my measuring tape. The circumference is 20.75. This is about 21. It wouldn't be that huge of a difference. Of course, it would be a difference. But okay, let's just forget about that. This is bigger. From hair to nape, this is 14.5 inches. It's even longer than the mannequin head. How can the circumference be so small, but the front to nape be so big? Like 14.5. Okay, I would have to go to this one. And then we have ear from front to ear, it's 13 inches. It doesn't make so much sense on this mannequin head. All I can say is that this specific lady doesn't have a convenient or an average shaped head. It doesn't have, and then you know what I did? I shouldn't be doing those things. Like, I'm gonna make a disclaimer before I say anything more. Whoever wants to make an order with me, I'm gonna have to see the mall before you send anything. I shouldn't be doing all these things. I can't work with things that, like, look at that, the head itself, it's obvious. Like, look at that. Let me just get something. I'm gonna get a fucking balloon to see. All right, approximately. You can see how, can you see how? Yeah, you can see that. This bump over here doesn't exist on her head. You can see that this is flat and this has a little bump over here. That's one thing. The curvature in the back, she has a bigger one. This could possibly be due to the stuffing that she had over here. I really don't know. And let me just tie this up then. Or should I tie it up? Let me just, I don't want to make it permanent or anything. So, balloon. Let me just see if, because I stuck this together. If this was not two pieces, it would possibly be like usable. But at this point, like, I have to go through so many things that I shouldn't. So let me see if the perimeter is 20.75. Well, it's about 20.5, but I think it's close enough. Front to nape, 14.5. This is the center. Oh, that does make sense now, a little bit. Ear, front ear, 13 inches. This is one ear through the front. Yeah, it depends on what you call an ear. Above the ear exactly, it is 13 inches. The nape is 3.27. I guess she meant that little thing over here. Nape area, the ear through top. It's 12.5. That's not 12.5. It's about 12.5. And temple to temple through back. Where's her temples? I guess this is her temple. Oh well, that's 15. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm so pissed off. This lady just went through so much to like this order. She sent the package 3 times. We paid $180 for customs to get the hair. I cannot tell her that, hey, I can't do your order now because you didn't make the mold correctly. But I shouldn't be doing all these things. What can I do? I'm gonna call her and I'm gonna tell her the problem. I cannot make a wig and it's not gonna fit in her, and then she's gonna tell me that you didn't make the wig very well. So about a week later, this is where I am. I've got a lot of excess. I just filled it with polyurethane foam. It was the only thing that I could do because I couldn't work. Like if you see the shape of that thing, it doesn't even I don't know, it doesn't match any of my molds, and yeah, it got a little deformed, a tiny little deformed. So I'm gonna work with this. I have already told her, and I'm gonna put a little bit of elastic here because look at that bump. I doubt that anyone has this kind of shape for the head. Like I don't even know. Could be her braid pattern. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna work with it like that. I'm actually gonna start cutting off a little more. Removing these things to shape it and make it more workable. So what I have to do is I only have beige Swiss lace, and it's a problem because I have never been able to find Swiss lace in dark skin color. I don't even know where to get that. So what I have to do is I'm gonna have to place, where's the gain? Yeah, that's the gain. Let me just temporarily pin it down. I'm gonna make sure that I have more than enough, obviously, because I don't want to run out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna make the top as well with this. It's gonna be so much better and easier for me. I'm gonna cut it first and then I'm gonna have to dye it somehow. So let me just put, how much should I put? Let's make it about 4 inches. Which is about 10 centimeters. So I need it to be up until here approximately. Oh well, I'm gonna just cut it right here because I already have more. So alright, I'm gonna make it more. I'm gonna cut it as approximately as possible. I'm not pinning it down permanently, obviously. And now I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna have to dye it with the eye dye poly for polyester dyes. hoping to make a correct hue for that, but whatever is darker than that, it's better, because she's a dark lady. She's medium brown, and this is just even lighter on my skin. Look at that. I'm more pink than that. Yeah, it could possibly match here, but look at that. This is more red. So yeah, I'm gonna come back with dyed things, and I'm gonna show you the next step. Here's what it's dyed, and the good thing about this is that this is mostly transparent, so it wouldn't have a huge problem whatsoever. I'm stretching it because it got a little deformed. Here's what this I dye poly for polyester. I have a paper somewhere here, but no, I'm not gonna find them because it's bored of doing that. Anyway, the I-dye poly for polyester comes only in specific colors and very basic colors. So if you want to have a different variation of a specific color, you have to kind of blend different dyes. And this specific brown is a little reddish, in my opinion. It's like a warm tone brown. Now, I really don't mind about this one because it's going to be in an area that it wouldn't be visible. And it already serves the purpose. It was like that and it became like that. So it's not going to be visible. And the problem though comes when I dye the lace. Now this does have, like, it's I don't know if you can catch the color. It's almost like, it doesn't even look reddish enough, but it does have a little bit of a red hue. It won't be too problematic. I mean, even if you look it against my pale skin, it still blends very well because this is effectively pretty transparent. But the problem is that I would like to have an accurate hue of brown and different levels of brown and be more consistent. So I really need to find someone who sells Swiss lace in specific skin tones other than just beige. Like, it might sound a little racist, but guys, like black women wear, so like everyone accuses black women for wearing all the time wigs and stuff, and they just don't make Swiss lace in their skin tone. I don't want to make this a racial issue, probably because I don't know, I'm not. Anyway, it's probably because the Swiss lace originated in Europe and it was meant for European usage mostly. But come on, like, you don't have different colors of Swiss lace. I think in the end I'm gonna have to call this out. It's impossible. That thing didn't get set very nicely because it's covered, and look at that. It started oozing. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm done. There's not much. I mean, if you make a good mold, it's gonna work. If you don't make a good mold, you can expect me to make a good wig. It's pretty simple. I don't want to sound pissed off right now. It's just that I'm wasting also my time, and I'm planning my schedule according to what who I put on my plan. So this was supposed to be a full lace week. I have already wasted a whole week trying to make this work. Now I'm not gonna be able to make it probably. So that means that I just lost a whole month for no reason. So I'm gonna have to see what look at that. It actually, I just put tape on top of that and it still starts oozing. Because it's oozing, it needs a lot of heat. It's winter now effectively. It's cold outside. I try to make this work and it doesn't work. So I'm gonna let it just, yeah, it's all over my hands now. I can't put more lace. It's everywhere, oozing from everywhere. It's a whole week and just got set in the outer part. Here it's a little oozy. I just put the front part. I finally did the wig cap. It is what it is. It's not 100% symmetrical. The lace lays flat on the side that it should be. That's what happens when you have like a tilted, like, that's all I can do. I almost feel sorry for making these. I'm gonna have to cut this, obviously. I just keep it until I ventilate here, then I'm just gonna cut it. That's what happens when you don't take the time to make a good mold. From now on, I'm not gonna accept any orders when the molds are not correctly, because they take too much time for me to work on. And yeah, I'm gonna start ventilating now because I'm too late on ventilation for that wig. So I just finished the wig, as you can see. This is the fine hairline, this is the top part where the parting will occur. The density of the wig is rather high. I used almost 3 bundles. You can see that it has a lot of hair. So what I have to do now is a couple of things. First of all, I'm gonna have to, let me just take out all the braids. Oh, also I have the, if you have seen the video where I cut the returns, this is the wig that I used, and the returns are cut in the whole wig except for the top where the parting will occur. And the reason is that in the top I just need the returns, so the visual aspect of the wig is better, because if you cut the wigs very short, the returns very short, eventually you're gonna have spiky returns, and you can see that here the returns are a little bigger. You can see that, you know, it gets a little back combed here sometimes. This is the returns, but with a little bit more care and stuff, you will be able to have the wig standing in good condition. And like, I think you can see where the returns are. See that? There it is. They're feathered out, so they're not one blunt cut, and they can just blend in very easily. And she's gonna have to pay a little attention on this area. Now there are a couple of things I need to do. First of all, I have to mildly bleach the parting area and the whole hairline, because although she's dark skinned, her skin is not that dark, so you realize that the knots are darker than her skin tone. So effectively, I believe that I need to have the knots slightly bleached in order to be a little lighter. So what I have to do first is bleach the knots, and then I'm gonna have to seal it all with permanent sealer, and then I'm gonna have to attach the ear tabs and stuff. I'm gonna show you all that in video, so let's just start doing it one by one, and you're gonna see in the end the outcome. Alright, I just took out the braids. This is the real curl pattern. I have really long hair on the top, so it falls into a thicker bottom, you know, it's not too layered. This is the whole hairline. And of course this is against paper white background, so it might look a little bit too grid-y, like with a lot of grid and stuff. Her skin tone is dark brown, so just take a couple of partings, and of course I'm gonna show you the inside when I place the tabs and everything. This is the parting area and the half definition. I used 3 bundles, and this is a lot of hair. I usually, and it's a lot of hair because the hair is not extremely long. So 3 bundles of 16 inches and 1 of 24 was too much, so I used the 24 and 2 of the 16 inches. So you realize that the wig has a lot of hair though. Just see if I am constantly on frame. And then we reach the back where you won't be able to part it. Like this area over here has much thicker knots, as you can see that. See that? I did this like that because I wanted to put a lot of hair in the back. This is like too thick. See that? And here as well, a lot of hair. But she won't be parting it here. Right here we have the, this is the elastic part, the elastic layer. You can see how much hair it has over here. Look at that, it's a lot of hair. Alright, so let me just take it back to the front. when you have so much hair, you really need to make sure that brushing is secure and easy. Well, I shouldn't be brushing curly hair because I'm fluffing it up too much. You can see that I'm just taking out the beautiful curl pattern, but it's okay. Now, this is the amount of hair, as you can see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to brush the back because it felt it a little bit because of and the edges have a little bit more longer returns, like here for example, because I don't want the edges to have spiky returns, small spiky returns. The rest though has the returns cut shorter, like here for example. You have almost no returns, they're so short. So I'm gonna take this out of the mannequin head. I'm gonna put the ear tabs and such. I'm gonna show you from the inside as well, because this is supposed to be a glueless wig. And this is the inside of the wig. This is the stretch part. This is the lower part. This is where I put the neck thing, the elastics, the adjustable straps that can further make it smaller. This side as well, the ear tabs on both sides. And yeah, there is a patch over here because there was a slight problem in the lace that I didn't really see. Everything is permanently sealed because I cut the returns, so it has a rubbery texture and feel to it, but that's what it needs to be in order for the wig not to have problems. So that's how it looks. This is how it looks against my skin. You can see that. Sure think my skin is a little lighter than the lace, but it still looks good regardless. Like that. And let me just take a little bit of parting. I'm not gonna take out the braid because this is a lot of hair, and see that? Part it over here. All the way to the back. Sides. So yeah, that's it. Let me just put it on the mannequin head. Is a little too small for that. You get a little bit of a visual of how that would look, approximately. Yeah, this is paper white, so don't mind that.